Moin, ich freue mich, dass du auf meinem Kanal bist und mit mir zusammen jetzt herausfinden wirst, was Chicken Police Paint It Red für ein Spiel ist. Ich habe wie immer die Musik ausgemacht. Das ist langsame Saxophonmusik. Wer es mag, kann es ja auch anmachen. Ich mache das aus, weil es sonst bei YouTube immer das Problem der Urheberrechtsverletzungen gibt und mir wird dann genehmigt, das Video dort zu lassen, im Gegenzug dafür, dass der Betreiber oder Hersteller Werbung einblenden darf. Und da ich das ein Bild finde mit Werbung, mache ich das auch aus. Ne, ich selber mache auch keine Werbung. Ich kriege auch nicht dafür bezahlt, dass ich irgendwas mache hier. Ne, wir schauen uns kurz die Optionen an. Du hast hier die Videoeinstellungen. Du kannst hier noch weitere Einstellungen finden. Zurück und die Audioeinstellung, Musik und Filme, das scheint, bei den Filmen ist die Musik auch mit aus, keine Ahnung, aber ich habe es soweit hier jetzt eingestellt. Zurück, die Sprache, du wirst zu Anfang sowieso gefragt, welche Sprache, wenn das jetzt zu schnell geklickt hast, kannst du hier nochmal die Sprache ändern. Steuerung, und nicht viel zu merken. Bewegen über die Pfeiltasten, das ist mal neu. Schauen wir mal, ob WASD auch geht. Das werden wir ja sehen. So, zurück, neues Spiel und Spielstand 1, neues Spiel starten. So, tote Männer sind schwerer als gebrochene Herzen. Aha. Verstehe ich nicht. So, ich bin raus, um Zigaretten zu holen, aber mein Portemonnaie liegt zu Hause. Ach so, das ist jetzt das Video ohne Musik. Tja, typisch, ich werde alt. Wir sind also ein Gockel, ne? Wie so andere Männer auch, sind wir jetzt auch ein Gockel. Sonny Fatherland. Das Raubtierdezernat. Aha, aber es ist vorbei. Die eine Hälfte der legendären Chicken Police. Aber eine Packung Kippen kaufen kriegt er nicht auf die Reihe. Ja, er wird sich aus allem raushalten. Der bunteste Ort in der Wildnis. Also Las Vegas, bei den Göttern, was für ein Mist. Langsam werde ich ebenfalls grau. Na gut. Stadt, und deswegen heißt das Painted Red. Chicken Police, Paint It Red. Aber was erwarte ich denn? Ja, ein riesiges Experiment findet tatsächlich gerade statt. Ne, das soll allerdings zu einem konkreten Ergebnis führen, zu dem Great Reset. Wölfe, Schafe, Hühner und Hunde, Paar, kein friedliches Zusammenleben. Es ist einfach nur lächerlich. Der Hund frisst das Huhn, das liegt in unserer Natur. Aha, in 121 Tagen ist Ruhestand. Was kann da noch schief gehen? Ja, wahrscheinlich viel jetzt, ne? Sonst wird es ja dieses Spiel nicht geben. Ehemaliges Hotel Atlas. Quietsch. Oh. Oh, meh.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
So, Schublade. Oh, Polizeimarke.
My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine, so I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes,
Also
just in
Packung
case.
Cornflakes. Neue Funktion, Inventar, neuer Gegenstand. Aha, so, da wollen wir mal meine letzte
My
Zigarette
last
daraus nehmen.
cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal.
Okay, neuer Gegenstand.
She
Dann
doesn't
bemerkt
seem
man.
so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know.
So. So, wenn ich das richtig erinnere, war... Ich muss erstmal hier jetzt... So, zack. Mit Tab kommen wir ins Inventar oder auch nicht. Was ist hier? Ah, hier kannst du einschalten, all die Bücher, was da so steht, ne? Telefon, Schreibmaschine, billiger Whisky, Schrank, Bilder, Lichtschalter und so weiter. Und wieder ausschalten. Aha, und jetzt kann ich sie ansprechen.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah, Miss Deborah Ibanez.
Aha. That's very interesting.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Sie machen einen
Oh,
Fehler.
really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Oh,
Am I
very
that
nett.
easy to read?
Was?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
Billigen Whisky? Mhm. Ja.
I don't usually drink.
Aber heute
Well,
mal
I've
eine
got to
Ausnahme.
have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
Okay.
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Oh, yes.
Thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
Ja, das ist
What a
ein
coincidence.
neuer Kodex-Eintrag. Aha.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
Okay. Aha. Die stoßen an und dann erzählt sie. Oder auch nicht. So, jetzt muss ich mal gucken. Ich klicke mal hier oben drauf. Das Notizbuch. Dann ist der beste Freund, bla bla bla. Okay. Kleine Aufträge für ihre Arbeitgeberin. Kodex, da steht 3. Naja, so ein bisschen Hintergrund. Stadt der Taubenfarben. So. Orte. Ah, Hotel Atlas. Das sind noch nicht ausgefüllte. Was haben wir hier? Statistik, Vernehmungspunkte, besuchte Orte, Kodex-Einträge, okay, Grünschnabel. Was ist hier noch? Ach, da geht es wieder von vorne los. Okay, dann wollen wir hier mal wieder rausgehen. Zack, bumm. Und was haben wir hier? Das ist unser Inventar. Gut, die wichtigen Gegenstände des Falles. Okay, zurück. So, Deborah.
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats exactly?
Aha,
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Yes.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Ah, neue Funktion, Vernehmung. Das heißt, ich muss jetzt hier draufklicken und vernehmen. Thema schon da, darauf muss ich den Fokus, verdächtige Eindrücke, bla bla bla, was das jetzt hier soll. Er ist verdächtig, ich bin verdächtig, warum bist du verdächtig? Eindrücke, Thema, Frage 1, Frage 2, Detektivmeter. Aha. Okay, so nun.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard.
Warum das hier Tina sein müssen, weiß ich auch nicht, aber... So, wer genau sind Sie, wenn ich...
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
Das lassen Sie über mich
You're important
beurteilen.
enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
Okay.
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
So, schüchtern Zweifel.
You're not very confident. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, excuse me. I'm just a bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Breaking into the apartments of strangers isn't that big a deal. Some people do it as a hobby.
Please don't make fun of me, Mr. Featherland. This is hard for me as it is.
Also ist sie nicht eingebrochen, da war
You're
er
right.
auf.
Sorry. Did you come alone? All by yourself?
I took the subway, then the tram, and then I walked. It wasn't easy to find this place, and to be honest, I had to be discreet.
Yeah, well, I think I'm starting to get the picture.
This is quite unpleasant for me.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Warum das?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that. How did you get this address?
You know, my mistress has exceptional connections.
If they were so exceptional, she wouldn't have chosen me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Detective. You are the head of the famous chicken police, am I right?
Was it a raccoon with a scarred face called Zip who recommended me? He hates me.
No, Mr. Featherland. I don't know anyone like that.
Lucky for you, Deborah.
Ja, denn.
What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me?
I expected your help, just like my mistress said.
Oh, that's very nice. But have you seen this neighborhood? Have you seen this wreck called a hotel? Who were you hoping to find in a place like this?
Someone reliable.
Well, I am reliable.
And discreet.
That's right.
And thorough.
No question about that.
And has a heart of gold.
Okay, let's stop it right there. Are you in some sort of jam?
Nothing of the sort. There are simply things better left unsaid.
Then you're wasting my time.
I trust your instincts. You'll manage it.
Yeah, and I have no other choice, right?
To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland. Not really.
Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Das weiß ich aber immer noch nicht, worum es jetzt eigentlich geht. Nur
Look,
die
Santino.
Drohung.
I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other. Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Heh, smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him,
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
exactly.
Neue persönliche Informationen. Okay, noch mehr.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
Wow. Im Westler. Fortsetzen. Wenn ich jetzt alle Punkte habe, brauche ich nicht mehr neu versuchen. So, nur. Jetzt gucken wir hier erstmal rein. Hinweise. Ratte, eben Westler, die Ratte, ne? Okay, Personen. Gibt's hier was Neues? Ja. Also die Neuigkeiten werden mit dem Ausrufezeichen markiert. Okay, noch mehr hier, komm. Ja, da ist er doch. Robert, Ibn Wessler, Rattos. Ein vergackerter Gangster. Guck an. Okay, dann haben wir die jetzt durchgecoacht. Schlafzimmer ist noch zu früh. So, Deborah.
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Aha.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Neuer Gegenstand. Ah, ja. Wollen wir doch mal gucken. Take a look at this.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
Was ist das hier? Club? Kann man das Bild nicht angucken?
I know Molly.
Okay. Xar-Club. Also
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Mr. Featherland?
Yes.
Santino, are you all right?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Ah. Meine Erinnerung
Visit?
meldet sich.
Me?
Not you, Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
Oh nein. Oh, was?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
Oh,
It was a
Sonny.
pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Jetzt kommt der Hase, der sie nach Hause bringt. Noch mehr Informationen. So, nun, jetzt gucken wir erstmal, was hier so steht. Mhm. Er stottert häufig. Mhm. So. Nichts an Polizisten auszuschenken. Gut, das war's der neuen Infos. Und jetzt, wie schicke ich sie jetzt weg?
Thank you again, Mr. Sonny.
Don't mention it, Deborah.
I'm sorry, I don't smoke.
Thought so.
So, nu. Wirklich alt, ne? War das die richtige Nummer? Wir wollen jetzt die Nummer nochmal, verdammt. Neun drei zwei. Tja, die kenne ich noch.
Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here, not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it, and now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Anything for you, yeah. Good. Lewis.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
So.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
Sonny.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me.
Ja, alles klar. Nicht diejenigen unbedingt, die mir dann erzählen sind. Alles so. Aha, jetzt gibt es eine Schnellreise. Geschichte wohl, was? Diesen ist außerdem einfach zum Abschließen des Spiels müssen alle Hauptszenen abgeschlossen haben. Beschränkte Szenen. Geschlossene Szenen. Nicht verfügbar. Aha, was soll das sagen? Ach, jetzt kommt wieder Reklame. ...121 Tage. Aha, da hat er schon die Sache liegen. Okay, ist ja auch nett miteinander verknüpft. Aha. Und ein Song ohne Ton. Ja, das haben wir jetzt auch. So. Martin McChicken. Die Schlauen sind längst fortgegangen. Molly. Sobald ich ihren Namen höre. Ach, da ist sie. Ach ja, das kann ich verstehen. Marty, zu dem fahren wir doch jetzt wohl, ne? Auf jeden Fall müssen wir miteinander reden. So. Kapitel 1.
I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night.
Oh, Ratulinskis.
Back in the day, I used to patrol the city's streets in one of these. I don't miss it, but it used to have its advantages. If you drive a cop car in Clawville, you can do almost anything you want. Until you've got the red and blue on, nobody asks a damn thing. Maybe that's why cops are the biggest gangsters around here. Back into the lion's den. But to be honest, lions don't come all the way down here these days.
Ja, was denn jetzt? Achso, da muss ich jetzt hingehen, ne?
Just take a deep breath, Sonny, and turn on the bullshit counter.
Also nochmal draufklicken.
Just take a deep breath, Sonny, and turn on the bullshit counter.
Kommen wir jetzt aber nicht dahin gegangen. Irgendwie.
Every time this poster disappears, good old Blood Boil puts it right back, immediately. I tore it down at least 3 times already. Actually, it's a kind of passive-aggressive game for us with the Chief. This happened when that old bloodhound, Blood Boil, was promoted to Chief of Police. The Castilia clan thought this would frighten the old hound, but they were so wrong. Retaliation came the next morning. Raids on 4 warehouses, a dozen bad guys dead, and twice as many busted. Nobody messed with old Blood Boil after that, or Chief Marrowbone, as they call him around here. Could have been fixed up ages ago, but it was the Chief's explicit demand not to. They can say a lot of things about the old hound, but he's got a sense of drama, for sure. Could have been fixed up ages ago.
Okay, das wiederholt sich jetzt.
Well, look at that. Hey, Sonny, what you scratching out over here? I heard the big boss threw you out.
Aha.
Tough luck, boys. I may not be on duty, but I'm still a cop, just like you. Well, more than you.
Hey, you don't have to be so peckish, old bud. By the way, you're in luck. Blood Boil's not in tonight. Malloy is in charge.
Oh, God. That clumsy buffalo is here tonight. If he doesn't end up in a cell again, he's lucky.
You got it.
You got it.
You looking for Marty, eh?
Yes.
I see you're still the brains around here, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm looking for Marty. Birds of a feather flock together.
I see you're still the funny guy round here. You'll find the giant feather duster at the shooting range. As always.
Hey, Royce, I'm telling you this because maybe you'll be able to understand. If this prickly shithead makes another racist remark, I'll strangle him with his own raincoat.
I'd love to see that.
Hey, whose side are you on, you jerk?
Joke. Okay, ich glaube, jetzt habe ich alles angeguckt, was man sich so angucken kann. Aha, jetzt
Here
geht's
we
auf
are
das
again, Clawville Police Department. I've never been good at history, but if I'm not mistaken, this place has been a church, a hospital, and even some insane cult's secret hideout over the years. Anyway, the place holds the secrets of the ages, and some drunk pigs in the basement.
Das ist schön gemacht hier, ne? Und Reptil. Da. So, kann man das jetzt irgendwie speichern? Geht gar nicht. Es speichert automatisch anscheinend. Optionen, da kannst du nochmal diese Einstellung vornehmen. Okay. Jo, ich sag mal erstmal Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. Wenn es dir gefallen hat, freue ich mich natürlich über ein Abo, über einen netten Kommentar Und ich freue mich auch, wenn du beim nächsten Video wieder dabei bist. Bis dahin wünsche ich dir viel Spaß beim selber Spielen. Tschüss!